Did you ever stop and ask yourself, what if one single day could change everything? Not through a miracle, not through a life overhaul, but through something far more powerful, quiet consistency. Imagine waking up tomorrow not feeling behind or broken or uncertain, but steady, strong, and rooted in something real. What if in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, you discovered that now is the perfect time to learn how to care for yourself, not like you did when you were young and rushed, but like someone who finally understands that time is precious and every moment counts? This video isn't just another list of health tips or routines. No, this is different. Today I want to walk you through a day, just one, in the life of someone who has learned to care for themselves perfectly. Not because their life is perfect, but because they live it with intention. Each hour, each habit, done not out of pressure, but out of love. If you stay with me, I promise, this journey will speak to your heart. And if at any point something resonates, something feels true, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Your voice matters here. This isn't just a video, it's a space to be seen and heard. Let's begin. Dawn habit. Anchor the morning with stillness. The sun hasn't risen yet. The world is quiet. And for Evelyn, an 81-year-old widow from Montana, this is the holiest part of her day. She doesn't rush to make tea. She doesn't reach for her phone. She simply sits by the eastern window, hands folded, eyes soft, and watches the sky change color. She calls it her listening time. No noise, no demands, just breath, just presence. And maybe for you, that's prayer. Or a few deep breaths before you get out of bed. Or writing one word in a journal. But this stillness, it's not wasted time. It's sacred. Because in that quiet, you remind yourself that you are not your to-do list. You are not your aches or your regrets. You are here. You are still becoming. So tomorrow morning, before you do anything else, pause, breathe, anchor yourself. Your body and mind will thank you all day long. To morning habit, move before the mind says. Thomas, 74, lives alone in a small cottage surrounded by oak trees. Every morning, before his mind has a chance to talk him out of it, he slips on his shoes, or sometimes goes barefoot, and steps outside. He walks slowly, deliberately across the grass. The ground is cool, the birds are starting to sing. His knees aren't what they used to be, but that doesn't matter. Because movement for Thomas is not about exercise. It's about reminding his body that it still matters. You don't have to walk fast, you don't need a gym, you just need to move. Gently, regularly, stretch your arms overhead. Rotate your ankles, swing your legs at the edge of the bed. Each movement tells your body, I haven't forgotten you. And if you're someone who's already moving daily, be proud. You're building something powerful, and if not, today is a beautiful day to begin. Comment, I'm starting today, if this resonates with you. I'd love to hear your commitment. 3, breakfast habit. Nourish like you love yourself. There's a kind of love that doesn't need to be loud. It shows up quietly in the way you slice fruit for yourself or warm a cup of lemon water in the early light. A retired nurse I once met, 7 years old, eats the same breakfast every day. Oats, berries, an egg, a prayer. Not out of habit, she told me, but out of reverence. This is how I tell my body I'm listening. In old age, food shouldn't be complicated. Forget the trends, forget the charts. Focus on how food makes you feel. Warm, steady meals. Hydration. Simple nourishment. That's the secret. So ask yourself, am I feeding myself like I matter? Because you do. And it starts here at the breakfast table. Midday habit. Tend to your emotional garden. By noon, most of us are caught in routine, medication reminders, errands, small aches. But there's something else that needs tending, something quieter. Your emotional garden. Harold, 77, keeps a notebook on his kitchen counter. Every day after lunch, he writes one sentence, how he feels. Some days it says, a bit lonely but peaceful. Other days, missing my wife today. And that's it. No overthinking, just truth. When you give your emotions a voice, you stop them from becoming weeds that choke out your joy. Emotional self-care isn't therapy, it's presence. It's allowing yourself to feel without shame. So ask yourself, how am I really? And if that question moves something in you, write it down. Share in the comments if you feel brave. This space is safe. Afternoon habit. Wake up the mind with curiosity. After lunch, after rest, comes the lull. And this is the moment when many give in to passivity. But the wisest elders I've met use this time to wake the mind. Lillian, a retired teacher, spends 30 minutes each afternoon translating old French diary entries. Not because I need to, she laughs, but because I still can. You don't need to learn a language. Just stay curious, read a page, solve a puzzle, call a grandchild, and ask about their day. Your brain is not done. It's still growing, still reaching. And when you engage it even gently, you remind yourself, I am still participating in this world. So if you're reading, writing, learning something new, tell us below what you're doing. Let's build a wall of curiosity in the comments. Evening habit, care for the body as an act of respect. Evening falls, the body is tired, but before you collapse into the couch, consider this. How you care for your body now is how you speak to your soul. Roy, 76, shaves every morning, not because anyone will see him, but because he will. He buttons his shirt, shines his shoes, combs his thinning hair. He says it helps him walk taller, even in his own home. Cleanliness, grooming, dressing with dignity. These aren't shallow acts, they're sacred. They say, I am still here, I still matter. So brush your hair with tenderness, put on clean clothes, even if no one is visiting. You deserve to feel presentable for you. Comment, I still show up if this speaks to your spirit. Night habit, put the day to bed with ritual. Gerald, 79, ends each night the same way. A single candle, a short prayer, one page from an old book. Then he lays down, not just to sleep, but to release the day. Nighttime routines matter more than you think. Dimming the lights, turning off the TV early, allowing the body and mind to slow. It's not just about sleep, it's about closure. And when you honor the end of your day with the same intention you gave its beginning, something beautiful happens. You sleep better, you worry less, you dream deeper. So tonight, start small. One ritual, one quiet act. Let the day end with grace. Final reflections. Which moment will you reclaim? 7 habits. One day. A life of care. You don't have to change everything, just something. Choose one of these habits and reclaim it. Make it yours. Write it down. Tell someone. Start now, not for perfection, but for peace. And remember, self-care is not selfish. It's sacred. When you care for yourself, you show up with more love, more patience, more wisdom for everyone around you. You teach by example. You model what aging with strength and grace truly looks like. So if you're still watching, thank you. Truly, you stayed because your soul knows this matters. Please, before you go, like this video if it touched your heart. Comment which habit you're starting today. Subscribe if you haven't, because we're building a community of wisdom here, and we'd love you to be part of it. Until next time, keep choosing yourself. Keep becoming. You're not done yet. You're just getting started.